Hi, I've been vibe coding, and vibe coding means using AI in order to help me write code. And I've been writing code to make this game for the iPhone. So, just a quick look at how the game works, if I can get this started. And, ooh, maybe I cannot get it started while I'm doing video. Oh, there we go, I got it. Okay, let's go ahead and get this guy going. Man, it's a long delay. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, there could be problems doing this. Is it gonna do it? Okay, let's take a try. Yay, it's working. Can we hear any volume? I don't hear any sound, so that's a bummer. The video part of the game is working. So anyways, this is the game. The game involves picking up trash from a high school outdoor commons area and throwing it in the trash can. And I wanted to add some features. There is a second level, and when I get to it, I wanted to make it so that I could pick up more trash. In the first level, I'm only allowed to pick up one piece of trash at a time. But in the second level, there's a lot more trash. And part of the reason for that is there's actually other humans that are all over the second level. And you know humans, they are dropping trash all the time. So there's a lot more trash. So I thought it would be nice to make it so that you could pick up more than one piece at a time. As you can see right now, when I pick up one piece of trash, there's a little indicator above my head. What I'd like to do is change that into a number that indicates how many pieces of trash I'm holding, and then be able to go and drop it off. All right, so let's take a look at what the process is for getting this done. Let me go ahead and put the simulator aside for now. I'm going to go ahead and stop it. And then we're going to go look at Claude. This is where I have been giving my prompts. So what I'm doing is I'm using Claude in order to generate. What happened to my wonder? Oh, weird. I could not see my webcam. I'm curious how this works. Um, what I do is I give my idea to Claude, and then Claude generates a prompt that can be used with another AI engine called Cursor. So anyways, I wanted to give it this idea. How difficult would it be to make it so that the player can pick up more than one piece of trash at a time before depositing in the trash can in level 2, which is not a behavior that exists in level 1. Okay, so anyways, I gave the prompt, and then Claude came back, and it gave me all these thoughts. And then it said to me in the thoughts, Claude said, "Hey, there is this tricky aspect of things." And so then I said, "Well, how about if we don't worry about that tricky aspect of things?" And I gave Claude a little workaround. So Claude then complimented me by saying smart simplification. Claude thinks I'm really smart. Anyways, so then I got this prompt that for the Cursor AI. That's the other AI engine that I'm using. And I ended up, there was a few other things that needed to be done. Anyways, I copied it, and then I went to Cursor, and I pasted the prompt, and now I'm about to run this prompt and then see all the code that's written. Let me go ahead. Oh, you know what? I want to check and see what's going on with the recording. All right, so let's take a look at Cursor. And here is the prompt that I pasted in from Claude. And now I'm going to go ahead and run that. And so what Cursor does is it takes the English description of what I want done, and then it goes and writes all the code and changes all the code, does all kinds of stuff. There's already a lot of code that's written, so some of the work that Cursor has to do is to go back and change some of the code that already exists. It also may need to add new code, and it may have to delete some code. Sometimes I'll remove features because they no longer make sense, or they just really weren't adding something to the game in the first place. So anyways, that's where I'm at right now. And you can see that as cursor is running, it's thinking out loud. And I can sort of, although I can't read every word, I can kind of get the gist of what it's doing and that it's thinking. It's kind of better than just having a simple progress bar that says, hey, we're making progress. So anyways, it's oh, look, it says I have a clear plan. Yay, see, I feel good that maybe things are happening here. So anyways, let's take a look and see, okay, updating the core file systematically. And then it's telling me all the files that it's touching and changing. And ultimately, in the end, it'll give me a summary of what it's done. And then I can go try it out and see whether I like it. And then I'll give cursor feedback to see whether it worked okay. If it did not, I'll give cursor some specific feedback, and then cursor will go make my changes. And that's how the process works. It is a process where we rinse and we repeat. The cursor writes the code, I try it, I give it feedback, it writes some more code, I try it, until we get to a product that I'm happy with. And woo, this is a lot of code writing, so I'm crossing my fingers. I will tell you this, there's a really interesting aspect of the software development is that it's well known to software developers that when you're writing a lot of code, you should be using something called a versioning system. And I am using a versioning system called GitHub. And what it does is it allows me to record all the changes that were made up to a certain point. And the really nice thing about that is that if I make more changes and there's something that gets broken or I don't like it, I can always revert back to some previous point where things were working properly. So anyways, cursor is now giving me the final report to let me know about all the changes that it made. And let's see if it has any concerns here. Build wasn't run, worth a quick simulator pass, pick up several pieces. Oh, so it wants me to test things out. So before I do anything else, I will test it out. Let's go ahead and take a look and see. I will go ahead and run my simulator. And the thing that I'm trying to test here is whether or not I can pick up multiple pieces of trash. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. Now, this is level 1, and I put a little back door in for testing purposes where I can go directly to level 2 without working too hard. So I'm just going to go to the level 2 portal. There we go. And now that I'm in level 2, I want to check and see, can I pick up more than one piece of trash? And the other thing that's supposed to, oh, okay, the good news is this. I am picking up more than one piece of trash. The bad news is I'm supposed to get an indicator that tells me how many pieces of trash I've got. And there's some humans on this level, and they're kind of boxing me in. So I got to be careful about them. Also, you'll notice that the seagulls are pooping on me. I got to watch out for that. Okay, let's see what happens when I go to a trash can. I'm going to try to get away from these humans. Oh, interesting. The more trash I'm carrying, the slower I go. Okay, so I just dropped off all my pieces of trash. And down below here, you can see that I dropped off 9 pieces of trash. So far, everything seems to be working. But I do need to let cursor know that we need an update. Oh, by the way, I love how fast I can fly around when I don't have a lot of trash. Unfortunately, when I pick up a lot of trash, I start slowing down. So there is some downside to being able to pick up multiple pieces of trash. Okay, anyways, I kind of like this. It's kind of cool. Let's go ahead and let's let cursor know that I want to change that indicator. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to cursor, and I'm going to say mostly great. I don't need to give it that kind of feedback, but I like it because it makes me feel more like we're two humans talking. And I'm going to say I can pick up multiple pieces of trash, but there is no there is no counter. Okay, but the what is it called? There is a thing on top over the head. It has a name. The carried pieces or something like that. I don't even see them. Oh, update the carry indicator. Okay, so but the carry indicator is not a number, and it should be. Can you fix this? Let's see what Cursor has to say about that. The user reports that the carry indicator is something or another. I see a potential issue. There's an issue. Let's see what. So sometimes you make requests and the AI comes back and says, no can do. It happens. All right, so I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Lots of stuff is happening. Wow. Sometimes I have to say it seems, okay, the green dot on the player shows, but the count label isn't wired there. And the HUD slot may stay invisible. The heads up display should not be changing at all. We're not using it anymore. Adding a numeric label on the player indicator and making the HUD carry slot show the count reliably. Okay. So it's doing what I'm asking. I am curious to see what happens here. Oh, interesting. So I have it set up so that it's supposed to beep when it's done, but I'm not hearing the beep. It says after picking up trash in level 2, you should see the count above the character and in the bottom carry slot. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see if that worked. So let's go ahead and run this code. And let's hit play. And let's go to my secret portal to level 2. And then let's see what happens when I try to pick up trash. So there's one piece of trash I picked up, no indicator at all. Now, down below I'm seeing an indicator. I can see down here in the HUD, I've got 2 pieces of trash. Now I've got 3 pieces down there in the HUD. And why there's a hand there, I don't know. The AI seems to like having a hand there. I'm going to go and try to pick up some more trash. And I'm picking up a bunch of pieces. But I want that indicator to show above the head, not just down there in the HUD. I don't want to keep looking down. Oh, and then every time I drop off trash, the HUD indicator goes away. Okay, so I got to go back and give Cursor some feedback that it's still not working perfectly. Okay, the HUD carry indicator is working. But I'm not sure why you are using a hand emoji there. Let's get rid of that and just say, oh, because that's to indicate that that's what you're carrying, huh? Maybe I'm not, okay. Okay, forget about the hand emoji for now. The HUD carry indicator is working, but I want a numeric indicator above the player, and there is none. Honestly, the HUD indicator is not really even necessary. Okay, so let's see what it does now. Checking why the player carry count label isn't visible. I tell you, I just love this. This is absolutely the best. I've written a lot of code in my life, and usually it's me that is struggling to nail down these details and figure out what went wrong in the code and where do I have to make the updates. And I forget about making changes in all the places that need to be changed. It's so much better to have this done this way. Okay, now he's placing the count above the sprite head. and adding a readable gold label. Let's see what happened. Okay, when you pick up trash, you should see a gold number floating above your character's head. Level 1 is unchanged, green dot only. Good, that's what I want. And level 2 no longer updates the bottom slot. Only the number above the player matters now. Good. That's what I want. So let's see what happened. So we're building and we're going to run in the simulator. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and move this player so that they get to level 2. And then let's go pick up some trash. Oh, okay. So I got an indicator, a number indicator above the player's head. It's way too high above the player's head. Can you see it up there? It's like this gold thing way up there. Okay. So anyways, let me go ahead and drop some trash off. And sure enough, I had 5 pieces of trash. Okay, let me get back to cursor and see if we can fix this. One bummer about this is that it's very difficult to communicate about where things should be on the screen. And so we just got to play a guessing game until we nail it down. Let's see here. That is better, but the number needs, the number should be black so that the contrast with the background is better, and the font size should be bigger. Let's see here. And the number is way too far above the player's head right now. Okay, so you'll notice that when I'm giving the feedback, I'm not always specific. Sometimes I try to be very specific, like the player should be 1.5 times bigger than it currently is. But sometimes I just tell it, essentially what I want, and a lot of times I'll let the AI make some decisions about exactly what it wants to try. Okay, let's go ahead and hit run, and let's see what it says about this. The user requests modifications to the carry count label positioned above the player. All right, so hopefully these modifications should not be a big deal, and if so, oh, look at this. See, it finished because this was not a big deal. It should clearly read It should read clearly on the quad and sit closer to the character. Okay, okay, let's go ahead and take a look and see how it looks. And we're running, and we're building, and now we'll try it in the simulator. And now I'm going to go and pick up some trash. I'm going to go directly to level 2, and let's see what happens. So now in level 2, I've picked up a piece of trash, and I can see a 1 above my head. Now I see it too. Can you see it? Check it out. Can you see that number right there? Yay. Okay, so we're going to go and pick up 3, we'll pick up 4, we'll pick up 5, and now I go to the trash can and drop them off. I am loving it. The only thing is it's actually a little too close to the player's head. So I'm going to have them just knock it up just a little bit higher. But this is where I'm going to end the video for now because I've captured, wait. No, let me do a couple more things. Let's see here. That is almost perfect. Can you bump the, can you put the numeric indicator a little higher above the head? Okay, so again, this should not take a lot of time to make this change. And this is the sort of thing where I could actually go into the code and make a change, but I don't want to. To me, by asking the AI to do it, it's more likely to make the change in the right place and without a mistake. Raise the carry count gap from 10 to 18. Okay, let's give it a try. Let's see how that works. And we're building and we're running the game in the simulator, and we're going to go directly to level 2. And let's see what it looks like when I pick up a piece of trash. So, I got stuck on some gum and I picked up the trash. I love it. The indicator is exactly where I want it to be. It's easy to read. I absolutely love it. This is fantastic. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and document everything that happened. So please update cursor rules file. So the AI that I'm using is called Cursor AI. And what Cursor does, if you want to, is when you're making updates to code, it will document all the changes that you made, or more importantly, not so much the changes, but it will document where the code is currently at, what state the code is in. In other words, what animations you have in the code, what characters you have, what shapes you're using, what colors you're using, the positions of things on the screen, how fast you're asking things to move. All of these things, Cursor kind of keeps track of, and it documents for you. And the advantage of that is that it allows me to analyze what is going on with the coding from a very high level perspective, whereas the code tells you what's going on from a very low level perspective. And this also lets me talk back and forth between Claude and Cursor, because anytime I want to go back to Claude and say make changes, I can share the cursor rules file with Claude, and it'll know exactly what's going on all the way throughout the code. So, anyways, the code has the cursor rules has been all the way updated. Now, the next thing I'll do is I'm going to hit this thing called commit and push. What that does is it saves every file that's been updated by the AI. And so if I make changes in the future and something gets broken, I can go back to this point and it will be exactly the same as the code that was written up to this point. Exactly. I don't have to worry about undoing changes. What this is doing is it's preserving what the code looks like as of now. And if something goes wrong in the future, I can come back to this and it'll be exactly as it is right now, which is a super great way to do code development. It's just really systematic. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and listening. Let me see if I can end this. There we go.